Organic chic is taking the spotlight in today's jewelry scene. While organic materials have long been a staple in boho fashions, we're now seeing them reimagined in sleek, refined designs. The result? Beautifully elegant pieces that combine earthy textures with timeless sophistication. I'm Patty, a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. I'm going to show you the simple techniques that you'll need to make this organic chic pearl and wood necklace.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
Right now, we're in this modern transition from boho to chic, and we're doing things strategically, like combining shiny metal with fabric or leather. And we're using much more organic material like bone, wood, shell in sophisticated designs. Let's take a look at the necklace that we're making today. This beautiful organic chic necklace combines these wood beads and these wonderful natural pearls. You can see the contrast here, and this is an important part of the design between light and dark, also earth and sea. It makes it really interesting. And the imperfections, maybe the slight size differences of the wood beads or color variations, and the real interest of the natural pearls not being so perfect, really is good. We really like that. It's really good. It creates a lot of interest while maintaining this beautiful classic necklace line for that sophistication. So let's take a look at the materials that will be in this piece. So we have here these beautiful cultured pearls in these squares. This makes a great focal. And we have some little shell hishi beads. And then we have our metal components. We've got this great self-closing clasp. It's really got that wonderful kind of industrial, sophisticated look. It's really fun. Some plated findings here. We've got AccuGuards, little hishi beads, crimp covers, and jump rings. And then we have sterling silver crimp tubes. I like those because they close up so well. And we have these wonderful multicolored pearls. These are cultured pearls, and they're gorgeous. They come in this kind of mauve to peach range. And then we have these great wood beads that also come in a really nice color range. So let's get started making this piece. First thing we're going to do is cut some AccuFlex. That's what we're going to string on. This is 49 strand Dijon gold in size 0.019. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut about 18 inches of this. So I'm just going to unspool some. And then I'm just going to lay it on the ruler. This is an 18-inch ruler. I'm going to cut an extra couple inches. I always like just a little bit more for working space, but you don't need it if you want to conserve your AccuFlex. Now that I have my AccuFlex cut and my bead bug applied, I'm going to go ahead and start stringing. So in this necklace, we start with one little gold hishi bead. So I'm going to grab one of those and go ahead and thread that on. I'm going to go ahead and string on a couple of these little shell hishi beads. I'm going to do a really thin one. They come in all these different thicknesses. And then I'm going to do a thicker one. Well, it got away from me. Let's get it back on there. There we go. Okay, so I've got my metal hishi and my shell hishis on there. I'm going to start doing the wood beads. There are 25 wood beads here, so I'm going to go ahead and start stringing those. So you can see that the wood beads come in a variety of colors, a little bit different shape. I like to kind of mix those up. I'll start with maybe a light one. That's kind of a medium one. And maybe I'll go to a darker one after that. And I'm just going to kind of blend them around. You don't want them all clumped up together, all light and all dark. It just doesn't look as good. Here's a much lighter one. I'll go that next. And I'm just going to keep going like that until I get 25 wood beads. I'm going to go ahead now and switch over to a piece where I've already got those strung. We have a couple of more shell hishi beads, so let's go ahead and get to those. I'm going to do, again, a little thin one and a little thicker one. I like to kind of mix those up. It's more interesting. And from there, we have 3 pearls, and they're kind of in different shades, so I'm going to pick 3 with kind of different shades to make it interesting. So I'll go for a peach one. This is a really nice light, bright peach. And then maybe I'll go for a mauve. That one is beautiful. And then maybe I'll go for something in the middle that's more white. See how that looks. And you can always change them around if you decide you want a different pattern. I really like this. I think that that's just perfect. Then we're going to our flat focal here. So I'm going to grab one of those. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to string that right on. There we go. Beautiful. And then we'll do another 3 pearls in mixed colors. And I kind of like to mirror what I did before. So I might start with a peach. There we go. And then go to a mauve, like that. Kind of similar to what we did before. And then maybe kind of a more creamy or white one. Let's go for this one there. When you're doing an organic chic piece like this, you want these really nice, interesting, unique qualities that you find in the organic materials, but you want to keep it sophisticated, so you really want a nice mirrored look. I'm going to start threading wood beads again, and there will be 25 as there were on the other side, and I'll just keep going like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to where all of the wood beads are threaded on. Now we've got most of the wood beads on. Let's just get the last wood bead here, threaded on. And then we'll do a couple of the shell hishis again. Let's get a thinner one and a thicker one. Those two are great. I also like that they're a little different color for a little more interest. And the AccuFlex is really a nice material to string with. It's really drapey, but also you can use the end of the AccuFlex kind of like a needle to pick things up because it's stiff enough to do that while it's still drapey. It's really my favorite thing to string with. Okay, I've got all of those threaded on. The last thing is one little metal hishi bead, and our stringing will be complete. There it is. Beautiful. I've already crimped this end. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to crimp the other end. It's the same process. Now that it's all strung, let me show you how to crimp the end. We've done this end. Now we're going to do the second end. So you're going to make sure your beads are snug and wrap your necklace in a circle like this. That'll give it enough slack when it's crimped firmly to drape well. If you do it in a straight line, it doesn't work so well. So the first thing we'll do is thread on our little crimp tube. I love the sterling crimp tubes for crimping because the sterling is so malleable that it crimps really well without breaking. And then we'll put on the AccuGuard. I'll have to pick that up. And we'll go through one hole in one side. Bring it around the AccuGuard and through the other side. This protects your wire from fraying in future use. You don't want that. These are wonderful. It also gives it a really nice finished look. And then the end of the AccuFlex will go back through the crimp tube. And you can actually put it through some of the beads if they have large enough holes, and these do. So putting it through some of the beads gives you a little extra tail, which can be nice in making sure you have a nice firm crimp. Now I'm going to take my crimping pliers, which are these guys, and there's these different channels. I'm going to use this middle channel to crimp that down, but first I'm going to close the acu guard right there. You want the tips kind of touching each other. And then pull firmly while it's in the circle, just making sure there's no slack. A way to do that if you're having a hard time is just put your plier tip. Don't give any pressure, but put your plier tip in there and pull against it. Then you're going to go ahead and crimp. So you want to get your crimp tube in that little second channel really loosely for right now. And I'm going to pull a little millimeter space on this side. And then I'm going to push the AccuGuard away on this side, and that will leave space for the crimp cover. I'm going to give lots of pressure and turn it a quarter turn, and that outside channel will close up the crimp better. Give you that nice tight crimp. Just like that. Then you can go ahead and cut this tail off. Use my flush cutter to do that. There we go. Now that I have the end really nice and tightly crimped, I'm going to add the crimp cover. So I'll hold the AccuGuard in my fingers, and I'll use my pliers here, my crimping pliers, to grab the crimp cover. Just make sure it's in there nice and snug with that kind of opening facing all the way out here. And you want to drop the crimp bead into the cover and kind of squeeze it 2/3 of the way closed, not all the way. And then you're going to go around in a little circle and close it the rest of the way. And that will make a nice little gold ball. So it won't really even look like a crimp cover when you're done. And there we are. So it's all crimped. The only thing to do is to add the clasp. So let's go ahead and do that. I love this clasp. It's got these jump rings already on it, but we want to use the smaller jump ring to attach to the AccuGuard. So I've got a couple of those. There we are. So to do this, I'll go ahead and grab the jump ring with my pliers. I'm going to kind of position it so the opening is right at the tip and I have a good grip on it so I can open and close it well. Then I'm going to use my bent chain nose plier, and I hold it like this, and I'm going to kind of grab the other side and open like that. You always want to open sideways. And I'm going to thread on one of the AccuGuards and one side of the clasp. We'll close that right up the way we opened it. Rock it together so it's nice and tight. So we're going to open that up. Add the other jump ring on your clasp. And add the second AccuGuard. Okay. And we'll close that up nice and tight. And then you have your gorgeous organic chic pearl and wood necklace. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Now that you've learned how simple it is to make this elegant necklace, I hope you have fun making your own organic chic jewelry. And if you do, be sure to post it and tag us. We would love to see what you make. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and sign up for our email newsletter. Links to that and to the products seen here today are in the description box below. We'll see you next time.